What's up, guys? Welcome to the Fitness Business University podcast. This is Tom Langton. I'm here with the Vince Gabriel. Vince.
Hello, Tom.
How you doing, buddy?
Okay.
We're gonna wait. We gotta wake you up a little bit.
I'm doing okay.
Why just okay?
No, I'm doing great.
All right, good. The title of today. We're getting right into it. The title of today. I'm interested. You gave me some stuff to think about here. The title for today is how to turn dead leads into long-term buyers.
Yes. Today is all about taking the customers that you thought were never going to become customers and making them customers. Today is we're going to show you how to do that.
Okay, so you're a marketing guy, right? Like you love marketing.
Love marketing.
Okay, and I think when we talk to gym owners about marketing, and you hear people like, there's always like a lot of complaints about good leads, bad leads, quality leads, and so can you talk about a little bit about like why people think that the leads stink or the leads are dead or whatever? So what do you mean by that? Dead leads.
So, well, it kind of leads. I can get into the study here. Mm-hmm. It kind of like leads us right to the study. So let's just do that.
Okay.
All right, because that kind of answers the question. So
okay.
There was a study done by the company called the Data Handling Inquiry Service. You don't need to know what that is. It doesn't matter. Okay. But basically what they did was they took companies from all over the world, from mail order, from like everything, and they made this massive study, and they basically came to the conclusion that when a person opts in to buy something from a company, that 50% of people will buy, 50% will not buy.
Okay.
Okay, so that's just like bookmark that. Okay, half of the people that opt in for something will buy, the other half won't. Check this out. Of the 50% that buy, only 15% buy in the first 100 days.
Okay. So 15% of that 50.
Correct.
Right. So it's okay.
So that's what? 7%.
7% are buying within the first 100
7
days.
people in that. If there's 50 people,
right.
There's 15% would be 7 people.
Right.
Okay. Leaving 85% to buy over the next 100 weeks.
Okay.
Here's the problem. People think that 85% are dead leads. And the issue is they're not dead leads. They just haven't bought yet.
They just need more time.
Correct.
Okay.
And so that's the whole mindset around this of, I've talked about this all the time, but the fortune is in the follow-up.
Right.
Right. And so for me thinking about something like this, it's like, all right, I have a system for the first 15%. Most people do. They have like you probably had at Alpha. When someone calls, we're going to follow up with them 10 times and we're going to double dial and we're going to get them on the phone and we got to do everything we can. And then we do that for 21 days. And then the people that don't buy are like, screw that person. But what is the process for your business for the 85%? And the problem, I think, that lies in it's a long-term thing, right? Yeah. It's just like now I have to have a system for 100 weeks. Like, what do you I need a 1,000 email text follow-up process, and the answer is yes, you do.
Yeah. Well, so it's more of a slow play. So you talk a lot about the marketing glove and having different types of marketing. Now, the majority of people, when they think about marketing, it's like that direct response. We want to throw something out there, and then we want people to come back and say, yeah, I'm in.
Yes.
But then people they get offended. Like gym owners will get offended if someone doesn't buy right away. But you're telling me the majority of people we're talking to are gonna buy, just not yet.
Correct. Yeah. Well, half of them. Right?
Half of them. Okay.
And that's not to say that that's a study that was done.
Right.
But it's pretty prevalent. Like about that you could say like half of the people that opt in for something are gonna buy, and that's just not your company. They're gonna buy that thing that they've opted in for. So that's really where the long-term follow-up comes in. It's just like, what are we doing in place that, hey, they're not dead leads. They just haven't bought yet. And do we have things in our business in place that are taking that 85%, realizing there's I have examples of this out the wazoo, right? I have guys in my mastermind group all the time that I'll teach something like this and they'll be, yep, I was on your email list, Vince, for 5 years.
Oh, you're saying your own customers?
My own customers. They'll tell me, yep. Right. And it will be proven what I'm teaching. they will tell me, yeah, you're right, Vince.
Right.
I opted in. I got your Ultimate Guide to Marketing Your Gym during COVID. And then all of a sudden, here they are. They just became a customer 5 years later. They've been on my email list, getting an email from me every day. And I didn't get sad. I just kept emailing them.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, there they are.
Well, people listening to this, there's people listening to this right now.
I guarantee you, people have been followers of this podcast for years and they've never bought anything from us.
Right. And maybe they'll be in the SPF.
Maybe.
Maybe they'll be in the SPF soon.
Maybe not. I don't get emotional about it.
No emotion.
No emotion.
Now, you're not saying not to have those like immediate processes.
No, you have to do it because they're 15%
or hot.
They're like, they're going to buy. They're going to go.
So you got to make sure you tighten up those, what do you call them? Front end processes, like the quick hitters, right?
Yeah, I would call it like your lead nurture system.
Okay. So like the follow. Yeah, how many phone calls?
Yeah, I'll give you a quick synopsis of that. Over the first 21 days,
right,
there should be a predicted sequence of follow up with a lead.
So someone gives me their email. They come through Facebook. It comes through the website. We get it at a 5K. They give me their email address or their phone number. I got 21 days to kind of hammer them.
Yeah, and that could be as soon as they opt in, an automated text goes. I think the best thing they could do is as soon as they're opting in, there's an automated text that gets sent to them with some type of a question that they have to answer to engage a response. That would be the ultimate.
Because there still is a good amount of people that are going to buy right away.
Yes.
Right. So you got to have systems in place to attack them.
100%.
Okay. So get that done first. Yes. But now let's talk about the other 85%.
Correct.
So what the hell do you do? How do you slow play these people?
Yeah. So I think that there is a lot of times people will do these, blanket contacts of I'll realize I need customers. So let me go to my list and I'll send an email to my list and hopefully someone will respond to it and buy.
Right.
And usually that does not work very well. Usually what needs to happen is there needs to be a relationship that's built. So one of the reasons why they haven't become a customer yet is because they haven't built a relationship. There's no trust.
They don't trust it, right.
And so that's kind of what the job is. The job is okay, this person's not ready to buy yet. So my next job is what can I do to build a relationship? It always goes like this. It goes know, like, trust, right? And so they may know you, they may not know you in the very beginning, right? Sometimes, what happens when people opt in for a Facebook ad and follow up with them and they're who are you? Why are you calling me?
Yeah, for sure.
They don't know you yet.
For sure.
Right? They don't know you yet. But so the first step is they need to know you. So if they're on your email list and they're getting regular contacts from you, they will know you. Right? That's just them getting the emails. Now, all of a sudden, if they open an email and they read it and they like it, they start to realize this is okay. I could do this. I could see myself at this business. And the last piece is trust, right? And that a lot of times that can happen, right? That can happen in, marketing. People can, so I'll give you an example. So I've been telling you about this guy, Arthur Brooks, who's I'm a new fanboy of Arthur Brooks.
Big time fanboy, yeah.
Right? So, but I've never met Arthur. I've done very minimal business with him. I think the only thing I bought from him was a $15, I took his happiness scale test.
How'd you do?
I did great. I'm happy as hell. No, I wasn't like that. It's more of, it's like a personality test on how, it's actually something we could get into at some point, but it's called the happiness scale. And it talks about how it's almost like a personality test. Mm-hmm. And it basically unpacks how you handle good things that happen, but also how you handle bad things that happen. Right? And so I'm what's called a mad scientist. So I have really high highs and I have really low lows.
See, some people call that an asshole.
Yeah.
Right.
But there's also other ones where the other one is called the judge. Right. And the judge says you don't have a lot of high highs and you don't have a lot of low lows. That's happy. That's happy
for sure.
To the T.
For sure.
Okay, Vanessa is called Vanessa is the poet. The poor poets. Tim Ferriss is a poet too.
Doesn't get very high, but gets super low.
Yes, you have really low lows and few high highs. Right. You're not. I would say, I'm trying to think what you would be.
I'm going to take the test. Listen, you're not Dr.
Could
Brooks.
Be. So cheerleader. So cheerleader is the last one, and cheerleader is you have lots of high highs and you have few low lows.
I don't know.
That's usually. So those are the people that are naturally happy.
Got to take.
Anyway, so I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So the point of this is, I have listened to enough of Arthur Brooks, from his emails to his podcast to his books, that I trust him.
Yeah.
Even only after about 3 weeks of consuming his stuff, I haven't had to do really big business with him. I feel like I have connected with him enough. He's taught me enough already that I have trust for him, that if he puts another book out, I'm buying it immediately.
Right away.
And so the thing is, like, you don't have to have someone in your gym to develop that trust, right? You can do that through your regular communication, through social media, whether that's email. You can do that stuff through providing the right content with the right person. I talked about this at Mastermind at the last meeting, and I talked about Seth Godin's definition of the best in the world.
Okay.
And a lot of people think that they need to be on the Men's Health top 10 gym list to be one of the best gyms.
That was our goal. That was a goal of ours.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
But the reality is you can be the best gym in the world if you think about it in a different way, right? If you have a specific customer in mind,
right,
and that specific customer lives 15 minutes from your gym, and that specific customer is 45 years old, and you specialize in helping 45-year-olds get fit, and you do it in a way that keeps them happy and healthy, and their gym is right down the street from you, that is the best gym in the world for that person.
To them.
So Todd Durkin's gym in San Diego does nothing, even though he's on the top 10 Men's Health best gym list. That is not the best gym in the world for that person.
Gotcha.
So sometimes it's about being the best gym in the world for the specific market that you're after.
Gotcha. So what have you found is the best way to build that trust? Is it social media? Is it email? Because obviously you've been doing this for a long time, and you've probably had people that have come in after years. Like you said, both in this world, in the for your mastermind, but also in the gym business.
Yep.
So we have that follow-up process in the first 21 days. What is the number one thing that you've done for that long-term trust building?
Yeah, I really think that you can't lose with a long-term email marketing. I don't want to say newsletter or something like that, but a process where you are getting in their private inbox on a regular basis.
Okay.
I think that you can control that more than the social media, because they are, whether they're not on social or whether they go into social and out of social, you can kind of count that email is going to be there time after time after time, right? And even if they don't open it, them just seeing it from you is building awareness for that. So I have found that the best thing for this 85% is a sweet spot email newsletter at 3 times a week for a gym. That is 3 times a week.
Okay.
That is and I'll give some specifics. And just the caveat on my specifics is this is what I've seen as ideal. I have some gyms that email every day, right? But I think 3 times a week for what all of these guys have going on and everything like that, I think it's a sweet spot where it's enough that you're not overwhelming them with a daily email. Now me, I just send it to everyone every day. I don't care, right? But at the end of the day, I think three times a week is a doable thing. I can even give a couple more specific, because I think people like that, right?
Yeah.
I think people just tell me what to do, Vince.
For sure.
Right? Just, okay, 3 emails a week, got it. Okay, how long should they be? 200 words. All right. What should I put in the PS? Put a call to action in the PS. What should the subject line be? Curiosity and obviously useful. That's it. And I think sometimes people they like that. They like that, certainty on what to do. So in terms of frequency, which is always a huge question, the other question is what days should I email, what times, and all that. That's not nearly as important as having that dedicate. And so I think one of the things is, why don't people do it? There's a lot of reasons, right? But I think the first thing is they don't make a commitment. They don't make a commitment to say, hey, for the next 90 days, I'm going to send 3 emails a week. 1 week they send 2, 1 week they get fatigued, they don't send any, then it's just this.
An inconsistent cadence.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think that the first thing is making a commitment to a 90-day. I think I like to live in 90-day worlds, right? I don't like to commit to anything, much longer than 90 days. if I haven't done it for 90 days already.
Gotcha.
Right. And so I think commit to 90 days, commit to 1 email a week, 2 emails or 3 emails. But I feel that regular email to the list with the buyers that are, remember, these are leads you've already paid for.
Right. You already got it.
These are people like in your world that you've already paid for. It's just like, why aren't we doing this? How much does email cost?
Well, I think there's
Like almost nothing.
The word that popped in my mind, I think there's a lot of emotion around this. Is like people, number one, they think they're going to bother people, and like they get like because people will unsubscribe if you're hitting the email list too much, and that's usually the first conversation is the unsubscribes go up. There's a lot of emotion tied around that. Also, as a gym owner, it's like, oh, he's giving me another thing to do now. Now I got to do something else, and it's like, but I think that of like not wanting to be annoying is a big emotion that's tied to that.
So. Here's what I'll say. And this is a great lesson in not caring what others think of you. The first lesson in not caring what others think of you is to understand that no one gives a shit. That no one cares.
Right.
They're not going through their day thinking about you. If they unsubscribe, they unsubscribe. I think that the amount of like emotion we put with unsubscribes is like, oh my God, they're at home thinking about me. They hate me.
Yeah.
I'm this annoying person and they're going to blackball my business. And they're like, no, they just unsubscribe. And if they unsubscribed, they probably weren't going to buy anyway.
Right.
Right. So I think that's the first thing is understanding like no one's going through their day thinking about you. So don't spend so much of your time. Like, cause that's why people they don't want to bother people. The way you make money and the way you change lives is to get people to your gym.
Right.
Now you're saying you don't want to do that.
Right.
Come on, like grow up a little bit. Right? You got to do the thing that's going to get someone in the door. Right. So, I think that's another one.
I think the other side of that though is there's a lot of ego for some people where if they write a great email and they put a lot of emotion into the email and then no one signs up, it's like swing and a miss.
Yes.
And it's like that's going to happen. You're telling me 3 times a week. There's going to be a lot of emails you send that you get nothing back.
Okay.
And I think that there's emotion tied to that too. Is like no one wants that failure of like I put it out there and it's just crickets.
Yeah. No, that's a good point. So baseball.
Oh, that's right. This is a Grand Slam example.
There's Grand Slams.
Yeah.
And then there's singles. Derek Jeter never had a Grand Slam in his entire career.
Right.
So a Grand Slam is like the exciting thing, the sexy thing. I think you're 100% right. People send emails and they think that all of a sudden they're going to get 20 new customers from one email that they send.
And it's just crickets.
Right. And so here's the example I'll give you. So I got a text from Bobby and Maria from Big Day Fitness. They've been SPF Mastermind members.
Boston, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
They took my email workshop 2 years ago I think 2024. They sent me an email that said, hey, we did everything that you told us to do and we sent 3 emails a week or whatever they were sending. I think Bobby does actually more. He said I'm paraphrasing on how many it is, but it wasn't like a massive number. He's like, we ended up getting 12 or 13 new customers last year from our emails. Okay, now.
Do the math on it.
Yeah,
right?
so you might think like, oh, that's it?
Yeah.
12? Okay, but here's what it is. Each customer is worth $5,000.
So that's $60,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they got paid $60,000 to send a couple emails every week.
Right.
And what did it cost you,
way,
right? And so that's how you got to look at it. It's just like 12 new customers. Like, what would it cost you on Facebook to get 12 new customers?
Right. You may get 1 new customer a month from these emails, but that's like paying you $60,000 to write an email every other day.
Yeah. Well, think about it. It's like if 1 customer comes in a month, that customer is worth $5,000.
Yeah,
you got paid $5,000 that month to write emails.
Yeah, I think framing it that way is totally different.
Yeah,
for sure.
Right, and so that's how you have to really look at it. Is like, what is it? Because remember, that's what you're doing. You're not generating leads. You're getting clients. You're getting customers. You're getting people responding to your emails that will become customers.
Okay.
They're already leads generated. Now we're just trying to move them down the buying line.
Okay.
So I think that's like a big thing is like making sure that you understand the return on investment and know that, hey, you don't need to hit a home run to do really well. If you hit a single and you get 1 customer a month from this venture, it's worth it. Yeah. It's a really good. Now, hopefully I want people to do better, right? Ideally, people even do better than that. I know some people that, have used their email list and how many clients did we get from our email list back in the day?
Wow.
Tons of them.
Yeah.
Tons of them. And we didn't even know it existed. We didn't know we were supposed to be sending emails at all. And we just started to randomly one time, like, oh, dude, there's a lot of people coming in from these things that we're sending.
For sure.
And people would, I mean, I think you were probably doing consults when you were writing a column, and people would come in and they would know you because of I read your emails on eClean.
They already kind of knew what your principles were, and they had an idea coming in, for sure.
Right. So that's the whole know, like, trust thing.
Yeah.
It's like they're coming in pre-sold because you've educated them on this whole process throughout the game.
You gave me an example of the auditorium.
Yeah.
So what does that mean, the email auditorium?
The auditorium is, I think, just this visual of, hey, your email newsletter list is however many you have, whether it's 500 people, 1,000 people, 3,000 people, it doesn't matter, right? But I want you to think of the amount of people on your email list in an auditorium, and that auditorium being in your gym. Make believe that's like adjacent to your gym.
Right.
And at any point in time, you can step on stage of that auditorium, and there's 2,000 people in the seats.
That's great, yeah.
And you can stand up on stage and you can say, hey, today I want to teach you something about why people over 40 have trouble losing fat. And teach them something really good and wow them. And then all of a sudden, oh, by the way, we have this new thing. It's called the 21-day jumpstart.
Right,
you want to try it?
Yeah.
And the visual of that is you standing on a stage and being able to speak to you. And here's the beauty. You can do that whenever you want. Anytime you want to go into that auditorium,
turn the microphone on.
You just turn the microphone. You just step in. They're always there.
Yeah.
They are always in the seats. They never leave the seats. Now, sometimes they leave. Sometimes they just right. But hopefully you're replacing them, which is another issue that we can talk about later. But
building the list.
Building the list, yeah. But that is an asset, right? You have assets. You have liabilities, right? Assets put money in your pocket. Liabilities take it away. You have an asset right in front of you that most people are not using.
Yeah. Like, how much would it be worth a gym owner to say, hey, you have a public speaking event this month in front of 1,000 people, or whatever your email list is? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And now here's the deal. Yes, if you have 1,000 people on your list,
25% are generated.
80% have earmuffs on. They can't hear what you're saying. Right. Because they're not going to open the email.
Right.
Right. But 20% are like, okay, what do you got? Yeah.
But even then, they're still going to see your name in the inbox.
Correct.
There's still that omnipresence. Mm-hmm. So even just the act of sending it, even if they never open it, they're still seeing Vince Gabriel, Vince Gabriel, Vince Gabriel.
Yeah.
It's like that omnipresence.
And there's also something about, I have a feeling that all of my customers that pay me to be an SPF, they're on that email newsletter list. And one of the reasons why I keep them on there is I want to show them consistency. I want to show them what it's like to do something on a consistent. And I think people have respect for consistency. I think people look at something like oh, that person must have their shit together to be able to put out an email every week or an email every day, right? They have to be have something together to be able to produce. And if it's good stuff, right? Yeah. If you're not just throwing, buy this, buy that. No, you're actually providing value and you're doing that on a regular basis. Every other person I talk to thanks me when they get on the phone with me.
Right.
They thank me for this podcast. They thank me for the books I write. They thank me for, right? And so that's what we're doing is we're leading with value before there's been any, I got value from Arthur Brooks before any money exchanged hands. I was just like, wow, I listened to him and Tim Ferriss, and I have learned so much between this podcast. I feel like I owe that guy. I feel like I should buy from him.
Right.
I feel like I feel almost cheap that the only thing I bought was a $15 happiness quiz.
You owe him more than that.
I owe him more than that. I want to go buy more from Arthur because I feel indebted to him because of all he's taught me. And so that's kind of what we want to provide for the people that come on our list. We want to provide this value in this exchange, and that's what this is all for.
All right. You gave me this note, the email power principles.
Yeah.
What are the email power principles?
All right, there's a bunch of them, right? I only picked a few of them for you.
Okay, there's way more.
Yeah, there's way more.
All right, so give me the big ones.
Yeah, here's the big one. So the first one is that the most important concept in email is this. You are developing a relationship with the list. Okay, so how would you create a good relationship with any person? That's the same way you should treat their email list. And so if you were one-on-one with someone that was, trying to, let's say you had a buddy that you were trying to get to become a customer at Alpha, you wouldn't run to his face and just yell and say, do you want to be a customer at Alpha? Do you want to be a customer at Alpha? You would create a relationship with him, and you
sure.
would provide value, similar to the things I was saying before. But that's the mindset around email, is that the number one job is to create a relationship with the list. Now, how do you do that? Well, you got to be a human being.
All right. What does that mean?
Okay, so the emails should not come from your gym. The emails should come from you. There's a big difference between me getting an email from Alpha Fitness than from Tom Langton.
Right.
Because people have relationships with people.
Gotcha.
And so you want to show up first as a person. And so I'm not going to get an email from a business. I'm getting an email from a human being and here's why most of my gyms are local, brick and mortar, privately owned. I'm a dude down the street that's got a wife and 3 kids that's sending this email to you, and I know what you're going through, and I got people in my, like, that's what people want. People will have relationships with people. And I think a lot of times we want to automate things, and we want to buy the newsletter, that they want to, buy the canned newsletter, and they wonder why that shit doesn't work, right? Because it's not a relationship with a person. And the same thing why AI is not working well for email.
Right. There's no conversation.
There's just content. It's just straight stuff. It's not a relationship.
Gotcha.
And so that's the number one goal, is that people want to tune in to your stuff to hear what you have to say that day. Okay. It's like they're hearing from a person, not a company.
So be a human being.
Yeah.
What else you got?
And then I'll say one last thing with that. One of the best ways to do that, Big T, telling stories. Do you like to read like a really content heavy email? It's just like, you're not going to do it. But all of a sudden, so I got an email from some guy the other day, and it was, he started out, he's like, I was at church the other day. So just the first line, I was at church the other day. So what is that doing? He's talking about something that happened, right? Automatically,
you're in.
No, I can tell you in your eyes, you want to hear what I'm about to say, right? Happened? You're tuning in. And he told the story about how there was a guy at church that was staring at his wife while they were at church. And he's like, in the email, he's like, I was so pissed off at this guy. Like, I want to punch this guy in the face. And then all of a sudden I was staring at him back, and I was kind of like telling him, dude, this is my wife. Stop staring at my wife. And he kept doing it further. And then what he kept doing, he kept smiling in my face. And then all of a sudden he started looking at other people and doing the same thing to their wives. And if you see this person at this church, please stay away from that person. And he started describing the person, what they look like.
Right.
Brown hair, blue eyes, about 18 months old.
I got you.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. It was a baby.
It was a story. It was a baby.
But he sucked you in.
He sucked us in totally because he was started with it. But AI is not going to create that email.
Yeah. There's no emotion attached to it.
Right? And all of a sudden, like, I got that email, and I was like, I want to read more from this person.
Right.
And then, and even better, it ended with humor.
Yeah.
Right? It was a funny story. But that's something like that. That's got to be a life experience that you lived,
right? That
you turn that into a piece of content, which we'll talk about in the Never Ending Content Factory.
But I think you have other stories, and so I think a lot of people, a lot of gym owners will say, I don't want to share, like they don't want to get too personal. But like some of the best marketing we ever did at Gabriel Fitness was telling our client stories. So it doesn't have to be like, this was my life, because sometimes it can get you feel like I'm talking too much about myself. Like we had hundreds of stories. We talked about Diane Carr never running a 5K, Kathy Balsamo losing 100 pounds. Like your gym is full of stories that people want to hear. So I think sharing your customer stories as well. Because I think when people hear that, they think like, I don't like to talk too much about myself or whatever it is. You don't have to.
Yeah.
You can tell the stories.
No, great point. And here's the mantra that I didn't plan on saying, but I'll say it. If you want a kind of overall theme of what to do, it's educate, entertain, and inspire.
Educate, entertain, inspire.
If you can do those 3 things, that's going to take you a long way. So the inspiration is telling a story about another customer.
Right.
Exactly what you said. The entertain. So that was an example of entertain. The one I just told you, that was entertainment. That was fun. That was like engaging, and storytelling is entertaining. Education is you do want to, there are periods of time where it's appropriate to make someone smarter.
For sure.
Right? It's kind of like what we're doing here. Hopefully someone can take this stuff that we're teaching today and go write better emails and get more customers to their gym because of something that they learned from this podcast today.
And I think sometimes you can do all of them at the same time.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
And that's what I think of our customer, Kathy. She was hilarious. but she was also inspiring.
Yes.
And then we would plug the education of like, here's what we're doing with it, and she would make it 100%. Fun. So
that's a great example. Yeah.
You can do them all at the same time. All right, what other power principles do you got?
The second one was consistency. We did touch on that. I talked about 3 times a week.
Regular
but here's the thing with consistency. I think that having a commitment to what you can handle. So if you're doing 1 email a week, shoot for 2. If you're doing 2, just shoot. But here's the reason why consistency is so important. What was your favorite show growing up?
Full House.
Okay, so when was Full House on?
Friday nights, TGI Friday.
What time?
Right before Family Matters.
There you go. So you even knew. Yep. And so back in the day, you didn't have Netflix or anything like that. You had to show up.
Yep.
And you would show up and you'd sit down on the couch. You probably had a big bag of popcorn or something.
For sure.
You'd sit down on the couch, right? And you would wait for Full House to come on, right?
Yeah.
How would you feel when it's not there?
Like, what the hell happened?
Yeah, right? It's just, that's what you want to provide. Now, I'm not saying people are home waiting for your emails.
Right.
But what I'm saying is people like consistency. They want to see that consistent. And I feel like it's almost like if I get an email from someone I'm not expecting to get an email from and it's just random, I was like, what are you doing in my inbox? Yeah. Versus like I get an email every day from Dean Jackson.
You know it's coming.
And I'm like, I know it's coming. Yeah. I know it's there. I have a good affinity with Dean. I'm okay with his emails being there every day. Right? And so like I don't always open them, but they're always there. And I'm like, why the fuck is he sending me an email? But and I get an email from some random dude from something I opted in from 4 or 5 months ago. I was like, who is this person?
Right.
Unsubscribe immediately versus I'm getting conditioned to hear from this person. And that's kind of what you want to do. Condition people to hear from you on a regular basis.
Okay. What else?
So that's consistency.
That's a power principle.
Yes. The third one was don't be boring. And that kind of leads into, we kind of hit a lot of it.
That's like the entertain one, right?
Yeah, the entertain one. But I think that this is the AI slop that's happening. Is like people are, saying, give me an email about, GLP-1. And they do these garbage emails from AI and they don't even take the lines off of them. And there's these 3-word sentences that drive me actually freaking bonkers that ChatGPT does. But they literally just copy garbage. And what it's going to happen is you're going to start looking like everybody else.
Yeah.
And so one of the things you want to do in this AI economy is differentiate yourself. Yeah. It's one of the most important things to do. But if you're creating all of your content using AI, you're going to use the same shit that everyone else is using. You're going to show up looking just like them.
Gotcha.
Right. And so that is a really, really important point, is not to be boring. You got to start with not being a boring person.
Stuff for some people.
Yeah, that's tough for some people. Yeah. Some people are boring. But that's just, and it's like, I call it the boring test. It's just like, I read an email, it's just like, is this boring? And a lot of times I'll have to rewrite it because this is fucking boring.
It's boring.
Right? This is a little bit boring. Mm-hmm. Right? And Ben Settle has a line he calls infotainment. You heard that before?
Of course, yeah.
Right? So it's like we're giving information, but it's entertaining at the same time. Pat David has something called valuetainment. Yeah, similar. But infotainment is, if you can learn how to do infotainment, like you'll like, do you ever get emails from me like from Uncle Vinny?
Yeah.
Right? Like that, like I have really worked hard to increase my level of infotainment. How can I provide a really, really good level of value and information, but all at the same time have people enjoy what they're reading.
Right.
If you can nail that down, that's not the easiest thing in the world to do.
No.
Okay.
But I think that goes back to knowing your audience. Like when I used to write a lot of nutrition emails, and I remember at first I wanted to impress another nutrition coach or like seem super smart for like other industry professionals, and the emails were just so dense and it was like too much. And then it's like, who's your audience? You're trying to teach this to someone who has no idea what you're talking about. Like you can't try to, like you got to know your audience and entertain the audience a little bit.
100%. Here's why infotainment is also so important. Infotainment is so important because you will have fun doing it.
For sure.
When I sit down, and everyone knows, if they walk by me and I have this I'm on my keyboard and I got a shit-eating grin on my face, everyone knows I'm writing something that's like, oh, this is kind of funny, right? And when that happens, when you are able to create things that actually make you smile and you laugh, you want to do that more.
Right.
You want to sit down and write an email because you're actually having a good time doing it. Because you're creating something that's engaging and fun and exciting versus like, let me write an email on GLP-1 again. It's just like, no, you're not going to want to do that consistently.
For sure.
So yes, learning how to not be boring through creating infotainment is powerful. The fourth one is a lot of times people do this thing I call mic drop emails. And mic drop emails are the people that write emails and they just sign their name at the end, Tom or Andres. And they think that their email is just so good that they're not going to ask anybody what to do anything. Right. And they're just going to get this flood. And they always wonder, like, I'm not getting any responses from my emails. Well, don't expect any responses if you're not asking for a response. People are conditioned to do what they're told.
Yeah.
They really are. Right?
For sure.
They follow, like, do this.
Follow instructions.
Do that. Follow instructions. For sure. That's most people. And so if you do not do that, you should not expect to get any results from your emails. So what do? You put in a call to action. When? Every email, Tom.
Every single time.
Every single time. Why wouldn't you? What is the goal of writing an email?
To get response.
Build a relationship with the list so you can get a customer. What does relationship build? Trust. I got to build a relationship with the list so I can build the trust so I can get them to become customers. Okay? If we never ask them to do anything, there's a good chance they won't.
So I think, so does the call to action always have to be buy a membership?
Nope.
Okay, so give me some examples.
So yes, a good question. So calls to action could be, hey, click this link to go to our website. A call to action could be reply to this email with yes. A call to action could be hey, we're having a 21-day special jumpstart type thing. Click here for more information.
Okay.
Right? So it's basically they're getting value and then we're telling them what to do.
Some action they're going to take.
Something. Anything. Even if it's like, and remember, it doesn't have to be a home run. We're hitting singles here.
Yeah.
So sometimes a single needs to say, how do you hit a grand slam? 3 singles.
Right.
So sometimes one email could be just, hey, answer this question for a quiz or engage with them. But it's just and that could be setting up. A lot of times what I'll do is when I send these podcast emails out, the only action for someone to take when I send a podcast email is to come listen to the podcast. That's my call to action.
Right.
But I'm getting someone to do something and they come listen to this podcast. And then all of a sudden it's oh, I listened to Vince and Tom. That was really good shit. I really like that. I feel like Vince's and Tom are invested in my success as a gym. And the next day they get an email and say, hey, first name, we're having an event next week.
Right.
Would you like to come?
And now that trust is
correct.
Yeah.
Right? You know what I'm saying? Yep. So it's there sometimes is strategically ways to think about this, in that we're not just saying hammer on the head with buy this every time, but it's are we moving them down the line through sometimes sending them pieces of value and sending pieces of content, but there always should be something to do.
Something to do. All right. You got one more for me?
The last one is this never-ending content factory. One of the things I was talking to my clients about, one of the challenges that they're having with email is just not having enough ideas.
For sure. I remember specifically sitting there and being like, what the hell am I doing?
Okay, well, here's the thing. You really don't have any excuse anymore with AI.
Okay.
Right? Because I'm not saying to get AI to write your emails, but AI is absolutely brilliant for ideas.
Yeah.
You have a second brain.
Right. Just type it in. I need an idea for an email.
Exactly. Here's my target market. Yeah. This is what are the challenges. What are the big problems? The great one is what are the big problems that my market has that I could write an email about that would get them to, feel like they got value from the email. That's the simplest thing that you could possibly do. But here's the thing. Going back to the storytelling from that guy from the church.
Yeah.
What happened? Something happened in his day. And he told a story about it.
That's all it takes.
Right.
Yeah.
And so that's what you have to do is you are, here's the line to remember. Everything that happens to you in your life is an email.
For sure. It's the story. It's like a comedian telling a joke.
Correct.
Right. Comedians, where do you get your material from? You get material from your life and you just make it funny.
Dude, Sebastian Maniscalco did a bit on Chipotle.
Yeah, it's so funny.
Right. Remember? It's hilarious.
Yeah.
But all he did was talk about what happens.
Yeah.
That's all he did. He didn't there was nothing that actually happened. He just went to Chipotle and he talked about what happened at Chipotle.
He has one about the people at Starbucks that they get the bag of food while they're waiting for their coffee and they eat the food. You ever seen someone do that?
No.
A little bag of a cookie and they stand in line waiting for their coffee. Eating. It's just stupid shit that happens during the day, but he makes it hilarious.
But yeah, and that's a great point. That's what comedians do. They just find stuff that happens to you. But that's really where the never-ending contact factory comes in. It's just like, hey, and here's the thing. Like, not even just your life. The gym.
The gym. Yeah. There's a story that happens every morning. You can tell someone's story.
Here's what happened this morning. One of my customers asked me, this morning I was training at my gym, and one of my customers asked me what they should eat for breakfast. Here's what I told them.
Yeah.
There's your email.
There's your email.
Right. And so you're swimming in a sea of content every day.
I think in if you're educating yourself, I remember the times when I couldn't write, when I was learning, like doing continuing ed, it was like, I always had content. Because it was like, I wanted to share that. Like you've been talking about Arthur Brooks, Non-Fucking Stop.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's giving you content. So like,
100%.
If you feel like your content
that's a great
ideas,
point.
if you feel like your content ideas are dried up, you're probably not learning. Because that was what we used to do. Like the best times we had on the floor here was like, we would learn something new, we would make it our own, and then we would teach it. And then like that kind of, but if you stop learning, your ideas dry up.
That's 100% right. That's a great point, Big T. That is perfect.
All right, the last note you gave me. So those are your power principles.
Yep.
The last one you gave me is you said you own 3 lists.
Yeah.
Okay, so what the hell does that mean? You own 3 lists.
And the email list kind of is all of them, but there are things that can be done. Your email newsletter list is like everybody, right?
Yeah,
everybody's on there. But there also can be things done outside of your newsletter via email and text message to reach out to specific groups of people. And the groups are unconverted leads, right? So these are the people that kind of, we were talking about that 85%.
Okay.
We have kind of specific contacts to unconverted leads.
Okay.
We have unconverted trials, meaning they came in for like a trial or a consult and didn't close, right? Those people can get specific contact. And then you have past members.
Past members,
right?
okay.
Your past member list. And so all of those people can be put on different lists, and we can have different offers at different times of the year for that. Now, our email newsletter just goes out all the time.
So that one that you send 3 times a week.
That's everybody.
That's your current members, past members. It doesn't matter.
Yep, doesn't matter.
Every email you've ever gotten.
But these specific lists, we can now like think about it monthly or quarterly, or have specific messages that goes out, like a specific message to past members. It could be like, hey, you know, it's been 90 days since you've been in the gym, you know, just checking in, seeing how things are going. Have you been able to keep up the fitness? Most of the time, no.
Right.
And so they're specific. So those are all things that you can do. So on top of sending an email newsletter, there's all these different lists of people that can take these different messages to be able to come back to the gym. So
all right.
Another thing.
So one of the power principles was a call to action.
Yes.
What is our call to action on this podcast?
Well, it's just fitting that I am teaching an email marketing workshop.
All right, so you're going to go a little bit deeper. We just kind of gave you the outline, probably what you're.
Well, you know, here's the thing. Like, I scraped the surface.
Yeah.
I mean, I can speak for 17 days straight on email marketing.
Okay.
Right? So I'm only going to give them a day. But like I talked about infotainment, right? I talked about what to do. I didn't talk about how to do it, right? I didn't have enough time on this podcast to do that. But like, what does that entail? We'll talk about email subject lines, right? What subject lines get more open rates than others? We'll talk about deliverability. Actually, deliverability is a big issue with like, all right, how many of your emails are going to spam and how many are not, right? Do you get put into email jail? There's people that have gotten thrown into email jail. All of a sudden they look and they're like, oh, my open rate's like 4%. Like, what's going on? Well, you're in email jail.
You're spam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's so much I'm going to cover.
Okay.
But there's a whole bunch of different things that I'm going to cover with email. But my ultimate goal in all of this is this. I really believe that people can do really well with a 3-time-a-week email newsletter. And my goal is to teach them a process on how to write 3 emails in less than 60 minutes.
So the simplicity, SPF, does everybody know what SPF stands for?
Simple, profitable, fun.
Because I think that's the one. Like, I think a lot of gym owners will hear this podcast today and go, this sounds awesome, but I don't have fucking time.
Yep.
Like, that's always the answer is like, it's great. Like, yeah, everything you're saying is right, Vince, but 3 emails a week, I struggle. That's a time suck, and I don't have the energy for that because we've all been there as gym owners. So this is the goal here is to make this. You're telling me I can write 3 emails in 60 minutes.
Yeah, I believe so.
You have a system that breaks it down, makes it simple.
100%, and it's a system that uses AI but does not leverage AI to the point where like AI, you can get 3 emails written in 5 minutes with AI.
Okay.
right? I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about leveraging AI to help us do it faster, but you actually are doing the work.
Still be a human.
Yes, you still got to be a human.
Using the power of AI to help you.
Correct. And so like in an hour, like can you dedicate an hour a week to do this? I think most people can, right? Because that's the other thing too. Like sometimes people will spend an hour on one email.
For sure.
Right.
I spent multiple hours on one email.
Yeah. And it's just like, oh my God, I can't keep doing this.
Yeah.
Right? Versus if you had a system and you had a process, you're going to be able to do it done in much less time. And all of a sudden, if all of a sudden start working, you're going to want to do it more.
And that email can equate to about, roughly, what was our math? $60,000, like doing this. You get one customer a month. That's $60,000 a year job to spend an hour a week to do it.
Correct.
It's crazy.
Yeah, that's 100% worth it.
Yep.
So we have a bunch of, the cool thing is like a lot of our people that have already signed up for this are some of our heavy hitters.
Right.
Some of our top mastermind members have signed up for this because one, they know the power of the email and they want the next level. They're already doing this, but now they want to do it
to another level.
Better. So there's actually going to be some really smart people.
So this is open. If you're already writing emails, you're getting a lot of, like if you're already doing some version of this, this will tighten it up for you, make it to the next level.
Yeah.
What if you're not doing this?
Yeah, same thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is
it's not an advanced.
This is for beginners as well. Like
100%.
Let's say I'm not sending. Let's say I send once a month or something like that.
No, I'm going to teach, because most of the people that are already doing it, they don't know this process of, hey, how do I do this quickly, but also really, really good.
What's the date of the seminar?
September 11th, 9/11. And a portion of your proceeds will go to the Tunnel to Towers Foundation.
Awesome.
So we're doing a thing where, a portion of the proceeds of what they pay for the workshop is going to go towards Tunnel to Towers. That's why we're doing it on 9/11.
Amazing.
So I'm excited for that. It'll be a good day. We'll have it's on. They can either sign up virtually or in person.
Okay.
Most people are probably going to be virtual, but I'll have a small group of people here at GFP that will come and hang out with me while I teach it. And then I have a bunch of different guests that are coming as well. I'm bringing in a guy named Joey Persia, who's one of the top email marketers on the planet. Writes for Russell Brunson. Like he's really, really good. He's really smart. He's going to talk about deliverability. I am bringing in this guy named Doberman Dan, and Doberman Dan is probably one of the most respected copywriters on the planet.
All right.
He's actually going to be talking about this process, how to verbally talk your emails. Literally how to take your phone and dictate your emails.
And use AI to write them out for you. That's really cool.
That, and then we're going to have Ben Stocks. We will have a little bit on Facebook ad copy. We'll have Ben come on and talk about some Facebook ad copy.
Awesome.
So I have 3 guests as well. So I'll do the morning.
It's going to be a full day of education.
Yeah, you want to come?
Absolutely.
Nice.
I'll be there. So if you want to get more information on that, click the link.
Yeah, there's a link in the show notes. Link in the show notes.
September 11th.
Yeah, or they can just, if they want info, they want to talk to me about it, just email me directly, vince@gabrielfitness.com.
Okay.
Send me an email and I'll talk to you about it. I could talk about email all day. I love it. It's just,
all right.
I also think, last thing, Big T, I think that, I've been preaching for a long time that gym owners that own their business, they need to understand marketing, right? How do you get better at it? You practice it. How do you get better at anything? You practice it. And how else are they practicing marketing? They're not. Right? They're not. They're doing stuff. But if you dedicate an hour a week to sit down and write 3 emails, you're practicing marketing every week. 1 hour, 52 times a year, 52 hours of work. Like you are going to start understanding the needs of your customers, the problems of your customers.
What works, what doesn't
when you are
work,
forcing yourself to sit down and do this.
Gotcha.
So it will help in other areas as well.
Awesome.
I believe. Yeah.
Vince.
Big T.
Thanks for the info, man. Have a great day.
You too.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for listening to FBU Podcast. Guys, if you got anything out of this episode, do us a favor. Hit that like button, share this episode with another fitness business owner, and subscribe to our channel. Every one of those clicks help us out a lot. And don't forget, visit vincegabriel.com for tons of free resources. There are books, downloads, everything a fitness business owner could need. Thanks again. Have a great day.